Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here in my channel. So for those who are new here, my name is Erica. I am an expat here in Maldives, and today I'm going to share with you another expat matter that most of my fellow Filipinos have been asking me about. So this is quite a sensitive matter. This is talking about undocumented OFWs. So undocumented OFWs, I was one. I was once an undocumented OFW. So for those who haven't seen yet my Maldives story, so yeah, I'll put a link here somewhere. And yeah, so I left Philippines as a tourist. So I got here, I had a visa, but I didn't process my papers with POEA, so that makes me an undocumented OFW. And yeah, I worked here for that first job. I worked for 5 months, and then I went home for some reasons. And yeah, before going home, one of my fears was that is the immigration going to detain me for lying that I was going to I was leaving as tourist. And I mean, yeah, I told them I was leaving as tourist, but in hindsight, I already had my work visa. So that was one of my problems. Will I be detained? Can I not leave anymore? I mean, can I go back to Maldives after going back to the Philippines because of, you know, that lie and yeah, being undocumented? So yeah, those are my fears, and a lot of OFWs have the same questions and the same fears. So today we are going to talk about that and how can you lingkawas, how can you get out of that situation and be a legal OFW. So as I mentioned, I left Philippines as a tourist and got here as a work visa holder. For 5 months, I was not thinking about any consequences. Only until on the 5th month that I was working and I was about to resign from that company. I mean, I was already thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to go home? I'm not registered in POEA. I'm not registered in OWA. What are they going to do with me? Will I pay hefty fines for, you know, for being like this? So I researched, I asked a lot of people what to do, and I'm going to share it to you now. So first and foremost, once you arrive in Maldives or in your country where you're going to work as an undocumented OFW, you need to right away process your contract, which should be attested and authenticated by the POLO, or the Philippine Overseas LO. I'll put the meaning there, but yeah, POLO is it's either an embassy if you have an embassy or a consulate in your country. So for Maldives, we only have a consulate, a Philippine consulate here in Maldives. We don't have an embassy. So luckily that was processed right away when I got here. Yeah, even before I got here, it was already processed. It's just that I didn't give it to POEA because it took them so long to, you know, do the paperwork. Anyway, my hair is so long. Speaking of so long, oh my gosh, I want to cut it. Any segue. So there. First is your this is what they call red ribbon, but they don't put anymore the red ribbon. They just punch a hole and a seal. So that's why now we call it, it's more commonly called as authenticated and attested document with a POLO in your country. So once you have that, you're basically set. So when you go home, when you get to the immigration, so when I resigned, I went home after a week. There was no interview anymore, unlike when you go out of the Philippines, diba? There's a lot of interviews and what are you going to do there, do you have money, or what is your itinerary, where are you going to stay. But when you go inside the Philippines as a Filipino citizen, there's not much question because you're going back to your home. They will not you know naman, they will not bar Filipino citizens from going back to their homes, whatever the situation they came from. So yun, I just like, I think I went to Naiya. That was Naiya. So I went to Naiya. That time I didn't know that I can actually fly direct to Davao or to Cebu. But yeah, I flew to Naiya. It's medyo high-tech because I just had to scan my passport and then done. Like, there was no immigration interview or anything. So afterwards, so I'm back na in the Philippines without any consequences. But then afterwards, I booked an appointment with POEA through Balik Manggagawa website. So here, website, okay. You need to go to Balik Manggagawa website, register yourself, and book an appointment there. Once you've booked an appointment, then you will have to bring that contract, that attested and authenticated contract, show it to them, and bring also your work visa card. It should be valid work visa card, not expired, okay? And then show it to them and then explain to them that, hey, I left as a tourist, but then I found a job abroad and I decided to stay, and these are my documents. This is my work visa card, and this is my contract, as attested contract. So can you process my OEC, that is Overseas Employment Certificate. So once you get your OEC from POEA during that appointment that you booked through balikmanggagawa.ph, you become a legitimate OFW. So I think what you have to pay lang is 100 pesos. If I'm not mistaken, you have to pay 100 pesos for your OEC. And other than that, you have to pay OWA because all OFWs need to be a member of Overseas Workers Welfare Administration. So you have to be a member of OWA and you have to pay like parang some amount. I forgot the amount, but it's not that huge, and that's worth 2 years now. So if ever you're not coming home for 2 years, it will be okay. So the next time you come home, you will just like pay another 2 years for OWA. So yeah, once you get your OEC, you're basically set, and the next time that you are getting your OEC is going to be online na lang. It's going to be digital. You will just log into your Balik Manggagawa portal and then apply for OEC, and then it's done. So yeah, that's it. Don't be scared, guys. I know these are hard times and a lot of you are trying to escape and trying to find ways to be out of the Philippines and, you know, get a job. Although I really recommend and suggest that you go the legal way and process your documents. It's really hard to get out as tourists right now from the Philippines. You know, if you find yourself in this situation, you're an undocumented OFW, don't be scared. There are systems in place to make sure that you will be legal the next time that you leave. So yeah, another thing is that because of the pandemic, a lot of undocumented OFWs are asking if they will be given the same treatment as OFWs, because documented OFWs, they get parang free quarantine and parang free transport to their home provinces, so those things. So according to this rules and regulations by DOLE, for OFWs, it says here that qualified undocumented OFWs will be given the same treatment as OFWs. So people who fall under the qualified undocumented OFWs are: 1, those who are originally regular or documented workers, but for some reason, like, they lost their regular or documented status. So like, example, you were documented, like you have your papers and you have your OEC, but then for some reason maybe you changed your job, because when you changed your job you have to change your OEC. So you changed your job while you were abroad and you were not able to process it in the Philippines yet. So like, you will fall in the parang purgatory, OEC purgatory. So yeah, you're still a qualified undocumented OFW, and you will enjoy the same benefits as a documented OFW. This also means you can be eligible for DOLE ACAP. Number 2, people who are not registered with the POEA or whose contracts were not processed by POEA or the Polo but have undertaken actions to regularize their contracts or their status. So yeah, if you're already a regular employee in your company, but the Polo or you didn't process your POEA papers, so you're still qualified. So I think the proof there will be your work visa card. And number 3 is those who are not registered with the POEA or whose contracts were not processed by POEA or the Polo but are active members of OWA at the time of availment. So that is quite tricky, but yeah, if you didn't process your POEA documents but you are a member of OWA, how can that be? Anyway, yeah. So like most of us fall under B. I mean, most of you, I'm not anymore. Most of you fall under B, so don't be scared. You will be treated like in the same way as OFWs. So I hope I put you all at ease. And gosh, my hair is really annoying. They don't want me to cut it because of the big day is coming, and they were telling me you need to have long hair because blah blah blah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I really hope I was able to help you and, you know, ease your worries away. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave comments. And if you have any like topic that you want me to discuss in the future in my next vlog, just let me know. Thank you, and see you on my next video. Bye!